Hello, and welcome to week 2. Now, if I start to cough violently during this, please excuse me. I'm getting over the flu I've had for the past week. But I want to congratulate everybody for making it through the first week. It looks like people didn't have many problems. If you did, you went to the questions folder, and I think either I or somebody else was able to help you, and that's great. This week, you didn't have anything really graded, so you won't have any grades posted until after week 2, because in week 1, we had the writing diagnostics, which people did some very good writing on that, and I commented on. Plus, you did the Connect composition assignment. That was a grammar diagnostic, so that didn't count as any kind of a grade. Now, this week I will be grading you. If you have not been to Connect composition and done that, then I will be giving you a grade for that. This week, you're going to get into your first real discussion, and it's an important one. It's where you're going to be picking the topic that you want to write your research essay, the main project for this class on. You'll see in the lectures, you'll have several choices, a lot of choices. Sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. But one of the reasons why I gave you so many choices is you'll notice on the discussion, I say I don't want anybody to pick the same topic that somebody else has. So if you go in there and see that somebody else has picked a topic, then you need to pick another one. I have for the date, discussion actually starts today, Sunday, and runs through midnight on Friday. But you have to do your initial post where you put down what your topic is till midnight, 11:59 on Tuesday night. So you might want to get in early if you can, look at those topics. And remember, this is going to be a persuasive paper. You'll notice most of these topics are very controversial, some of them are. But they're ones that involve some kind of argumentative paper where you have to take a stance, have to take a side, make a position on that topic you're picking, and defend it. I believe that I've seen one already. I believe that Facebook and Twitter accounts should not be used against a person when they go for a job. And that's a very controversial, a very hot topic right now. And somebody in one of the classes already picked that. But then if you say that, you have to say why. Why do you think? I think that they should use Facebook and they should use Facebook and Twitter because that's a person's private business. And in this class, I'm looking for your basic three good reasons to support your stance on the topic that you pick. And we'll talk more about that later on. But this week, you're just picking your topic. You're going to go in there and look at 3 other people's topics and make comments. And very important, don't forget to go back, come in there, at least 3 days this week and see who's posted any comments to your topic. Because I remember I gave you the analogy in last week's lecture about being at a party. And it's very rude if somebody makes a comment on your post. You go in and post three other people's, but you don't go back and respond to those that responded to yours. That's kind of rude. So don't forget to do that. Watch your grammar, spelling, punctuation. And I've taken out the re. You'll notice that when you respond to somebody, the RE, or reply or response, doesn't pop up automatically in the discussion subject line. I do that for a purpose because I call it the dreaded re, as you saw in one of my lectures. And in the business world, that's fine. You want to have the re, but we're in a classroom situation, an English classroom situation. So I've taken it out. And please, don't go back there and put the re back in. What I'm looking for is, you're making a post to somebody. It's like a story. Think of it like that. You're writing something, and you want to put something in the subject line that kind of reflects what you're going to write about in your response. That's why you noticed in the introductory folder, when it comes to how to respond in a discussion, you don't just say thank you and very nice one and I really enjoyed your post. You want to tell a person why you thought it was a good one, why you enjoyed it, things like that. So I'm not looking for answers like, that was a nice post, things like that. You got to give people reasons. So be careful on that when you do when you're posting your discussion. You do have a quiz this week, and it's what I call test your knowledge. And this is how well you went and looked at all the materials in the introductory folder, in the week 1 folder. And also, you want to print out or save on your drive the APA style guide from Bryant and Stratton. There's some questions from that on there. And that's one thing you're going to be using a lot this session is an APA style guide. So those questions all come from there. So I tell you in the directions for the quiz, either you might want to print those documents out or at least have them on your computer so you can go back and refer to them. Because once you start the quiz, there's no going back. You can't look at a question and say, I don't know that. I'll close it out and come back later once I find the answer. Can't do that. You get in there, you should have those documents with you or on your computer that you can go back and look them up. Because once you start, you have all the time in the world. It's not timed, but you have to finish the 12 questions. Your first weekly summary is coming up this week. Very important. Some of you may have noticed in your introductions, you've been in other classes, you might have done a weekly summary. But one thing I've noticed at Bryant and Stratton, that's at every college that I've taught at, not everybody's consistent with what they want. Teachers are different. They're trying here their hardest at Bryant and Stratton to get some kind of conformity and consistency with the weekly summary and with the way we grade discussions. So I've put the rubric, how I grade the weekly summary, and I've also given you a document that gave you the sample weekly summary, and I've also given you guidelines, things that you want to look for. And it's a good idea to print that out or put that on your computer first, because I want you to do it just like it says there. You're going to have headings from the discussion, a little paragraph, what I learned from there, where you at least talk about 2 of your classmates' posts, what you learned from them. Then you have from the lectures, what you learned from the lectures. Then you have from the readings, what you learned from that. And then very important this time is what you learned from the outside sources. It's not only what I provide, but what you might have gone in on your own and found. Those are the only ones in your weekly summary that you have to cite. You have to do an in-text citation and a reference citation. I remember back in the old days, I had people cite, the discussion, the lectures, reading, everything. But for this new way they want people to do it, the only thing you have to do a citation for is what you got from your outside sources, outside reading. So be sure that you do that. And last but not least on that, a very important part of that weekly summary is how you can apply what you've learned this week into the real world. That's a key component in your summary too. It's about 30% of the grade for your weekly summary. So be sure you put in like your conclusion, what I learned, how I can use it later on, not only in this class, but in other classes or even into the outside world. Well, I think that's enough for now. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll probably be checking back with you during the week.